Check, 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 check. What's up, guys? Got a new mic, so you're not going to be hearing my dogs bark in the background anymore. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 habits that changed my life. If you apply even just one of these habits, I guarantee you that your life will change. First habit that changed my life forever is meditation. You can do meditation one of two ways. You can do the Buddhist monk meditation where you sit cross-legged on your bed and you go, but that's not the way I do it. Instead, what I like to do is just sit on my couch and really just sit there, focus on my breath. I'm not sitting cross-legged. I'm just feet flat on the floor and focusing on my breath. The key to meditation is to really focus in on your breath. And this can get difficult at times because thoughts appear into your head, and sometimes you can't control those thoughts. So what you have to do is acknowledge that that thought is there and go back to the present moment and continue to focus on your breath. The present moment is a certain type of awareness, basically, where you're only focusing on the present. Focusing on the present means intentionally ignoring the things in the past and ignoring the things in the future and just being aware of what is going on right now. Being able to retreat into the present moment is very valuable for regulating your emotions. When I feel overwhelmed or anxious, I'll think to myself, okay, how can I get into the present moment? And usually, how I do that is I'll name 5 things that I see out loud. So, for example, there's a lamp in this room right here. So, I'll name the lamp. I'll say lamp, or mic stand, or tripod, or phone. Naming the things that you see in this exact moment will help you get into the present moment. When you're in the present moment, you're not worried about things that are going to happen in the future or things that happened in the past, which gives you a sense of peace. The more you meditate, the easier it is to get into the present moment. And the more you're into the present moment, the more peace that you are going to have with yourself. Meditation has also really helped me with focus, specifically focus towards my goals. Focus is probably the most important trait for achieving a goal because if you never lose focus and you always have that goal in sight, you're never going to stop working towards it. The second habit that changed my life is learning. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Cole, I learned in school already. You know that is that enough? Sorry, bro. That is not enough. The learning that I'm talking about is learning about yourself and learning about the world around you. And listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but books. Read books and listen to podcasts. You really don't understand how beneficial reading a book is. I read my first educational book about 8 months ago, and it was one of the best books I've ever read. The book is called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it's about building better habits and how to actually do that. I recently lent it to a friend, and he gave it back to me, and he told me that it was, again, one of the best books that he's read and that he was going to implement the principles from the book into his life. This video isn't a book summary, so I'll just leave a link in the description where you can go and buy it on Amazon. Podcasts can also be really beneficial to you, and some podcasts that I recommend, these are all on YouTube. Diary of a CEO, Chris Williamson, and Andrew Huberman. I listen to podcasts so much. Whenever I'm putting away laundry or doing the dishes, I'll just throw on random podcasts that I think is interesting and I'll just listen. The amount of knowledge that you can gain just by listening to a podcast while you're doing the dishes or doing any household chore is absolutely absurd. So you ask, okay, why is learning so important? And to that, I say, blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. Proverbs 3:13-14. God Himself says wisdom and knowledge are important, which is why it is important. When you stop learning, you stop growing as a person. So, probably the most important advice I can give you is to become a lifelong learner. If you become a lifelong learner, I'm telling you, you will see the benefits. The last and probably most important habit of all is physical exercise. If there's anything that I would want you to take away from this video, please start exercising. Please. It is so beneficial for your mental health, your physical health. The cool thing about exercise is there's so many things that you can do. You can run, you can jog, you can swim, you can lift weights. There's just so much that you can do. The type of exercise that I prefer is weightlifting. I started lifting around 8 months ago, and I'm so glad that I started. My consistency over these past 8 months has been insane. I've been lifting 6 days a week again for the past 8 months, and with that comes pride in myself. I hold myself to a high standard, but with that high standard comes confidence, right? Because I know that I can do that. That's something that I've done. And that is why I've made a lot of progress on my physique and the amount of weight that I can lift because of how bad I want it. It's also really weird what going to the gym can do for the rest of the things in your life. When you start exercising, when you start working on yourself, things in your life just kind of start to fall in place, which is kind of weird to say, but it's true for me. It really is the cornerstone of personal growth is growing your physical appearance. Before I hit the weights, I couldn't speak to girls. Like I was just really I felt autistic trying to converse with the female. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. I start lifting, I start going to the gym, and I actually start cold approaching. And that's a whole nother topic that I'll get into in a later video. But it's crazy what the gym can translate for you in your regular everyday life. And that is something that is just so powerful. I promise you, if you apply these 3 habits, your life will change, just like mine did. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.